Hi, Daniel.
Hi,
I'm Dylan.
nice to meet you.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it.
So, how and when did you decide about pursuing a career in this industry?
I think I was about 15 or so when I decided. I got inspired by watching a lot of YouTube video essays about film and animation in general. And my school at the time, luckily, they offered media studies, but they didn't have much connection with film, just the media landscape in general, but there were some aspects of film in there. It was really useful in learning about the industry because without the media landscape, I wouldn't know what anything is in this whole industry and economy. So I really valued that, and yeah, that's how I decided. I did know that I have a love for film and television since I was a child because my parents used to be away a long time, at long periods of times as well. So I found solace and entertainment in the TV medium, and going to movies in general is a hobby of mine.
So, tell me a time when you had to work under deadlines to complete a project.
Yeah, so I used to be part of this student video collective under the student union. We publish videos for their Facebook site. It's called Blitz, and I was in charge of creating video skits weekly, and I was given usually a week turnaround deadline as well by my producer. So every week I made a production schedule. For example, on Mondays when everyone is free, I would schedule a meeting which we would use to brainstorm ideas and eventually shoot. And throughout the week, I would edit the video and have it ready by the deadline so the producer can upload it to the site.
Right. Speaking of your previous roles, how have you effectively led a team?
Well, being the producer for the video skits, I was in charge of bringing people together, conducting the meetings and scheduling the meetings, and also on set, I was the director most of the time, so I had to conduct people and give them roles. For example, they would be on camera or behind the camera, and with creativity on set, I try to accommodate everyone's ideas, but I try to get the essentials shot fast so as we don't waste any time or realize that we need this kind of shot. So yeah, I try to accommodate everyone's ideas, but we try to keep the essential shots high on the list of priorities first.
It is obvious now that the scale of Netflix is incomparable to your previous experiences. How would you navigate the change?
Well, I do understand that Netflix is a big step forwards in my career, and if I do get the role, I would work closely with my supervisors and higher ups so they could teach me in the ways of bigger productions. I know a few friends in the industry already that I can consult with, and my previous crew would definitely come with me, even though they might have the same level of experience, but I would also find solace in getting an assistant director because a director wouldn't be able to conduct everything by themselves because that's an impossible task.
As you are well aware of, Netflix has been producing content that promotes social justice and equality. How would you help in our efforts?
Well, I've been a fan of Netflix TV series, especially Sex Education. Um, I value the very big diversity that the show has, including members of the LGBT community and different races. Um, with my ideas and my background, I would produce content for an international audience and not specifically an American or a Western viewpoint. And I would try to incorporate every minority that hasn't got a lot of screen time. And I came from an international school, so I've got a lot of perspective on each culture, if by a little.
With the current pandemic of coronavirus, how would you navigate the production difficulties that now face the studio?
Well, production doesn't have to be on-set photography. We can develop ideas instead of going to set and shoot stuff. I have experience in writing, and I would call myself a writer more than a director. And writing scripts would not be a problem, and as they do take time, I would have to devote my time on that for this current state in the pandemic. And with writing scripts, I have attended classes both in UNSW and in New York, where I went on exchange at the Parsons School of Design, or the New School. I've had a lot of experiences talking with different teachers who have been in the industry, and I went so far as to ask one of my teachers to introduce me to his agent with the pilot script and the script for existing televisions that I make an episode for, and that has been fruitful, though it was cut short because I had to go back to Australia.
What can you bring to Netflix that others can't?
Well, like I said before, I had an international background. Ever since I was small, I watched American television, and I also grew up in Indonesia for 10 years of my life before moving to Malaysia, where I attended a British international school. So with a lot of international students and peers that I spoke to and befriended, I gained a lot from their cultures and also have an open-mindedness. And speaking almost 4 languages and having traveled a lot of places in the world, I think bringing my perspective into Netflix would help, because I can write stories that are more relevant to the Southeast Asian market, as Netflix hasn't really produced much for that region besides broadcasting themselves shows that were already made but not by Netflix. So I think we can create a foothold in that market if you do accept me. Sorry?
Anything else?
You should say anything else.
Oh, no. How should we end it? You've been in interviews before. How do they usually end?
Okay.